Grüß dich! I'm back! Welcome! Just wanted to say hello to my 39 subscribers. So happy that you guys can join me on this adventure. I am visiting my mother and we are waiting for the skies to turn just a little blue because it has been the craziest raining season, craziest winter season, craziest all mud season I've ever experienced. I decided that I am going to start concentrating on topics that maybe you guys coming here to Germany would like to know about. And I will do an occasional vlog where I'm just sitting here talking. The thing is, if you move in December, get ready for some cold weather, get ready for some wet weather, and get ready for a festive time when you visit all of the Christkindl markets, because that's what it's about. It's probably about a little bit more than that, but sorry. Let me grab me a little bit of my cola. Today I am not partaking in a festive beer. It is gloomy out. That has not stopped me from wanting to share my experiences so far living in this wonderful land for the past 2 months. First, I wanted to tell you that this video, with me talking in it, is going to be, computers over here, the top 5 things you should know before moving to Germany. When I say top 5, I mean what could be most important to you may not be most important to someone else. So this is only my opinion, and I can only speak for what I went through and what both me and my wife Heather went through coming here. So if you've been checking out our channel, if you're a subscriber, or you've seen some of the fun things that have been going on in the past couple of clips, this here is just to let some of you guys know what it's like, what you need to know before moving here, because it is a big culture shock. And also, if you have, this pertains to expats or anyone that has just received notice that they're going to be moving to Germany permanently or under contract, or if they decide to just pack it all up and just move away from the United States or wherever you're from, Canada, Mexico, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Man, I really wish I could have went to Albuquerque, New Mexico in the balloon times. And let's just get straight to it because I don't like my videos to be too long. You guys will not pay attention to me anyways. The first one, get a sponsor. I cannot stress that enough. A sponsor will be the person in your company or whoever that is already here in Germany while you are where you're previously living. And they will get things set up for you. Supposedly, every expat or every person that has to do with a civilian sponsorship or a contractor or a military contractor. Oh no, connection's lost. What happened? Lost connection somehow. So this video is about the top 5 things you should know before moving to Germany, and we were on number 1. Let's get back to it. Get you a sponsor. Get your family a sponsor. So what a sponsor is a person that's already living over here in Germany that can help you with your move. They can give you a checklist of things that you may need while you are in processing or coming across the pond. You're going to want this person and stay in contact with this person as quickly as possible. As soon as you find out that you're moving over here, or that you've got orders to come over here, or if you are going to start a job pretty soon. Before we got here, we met our sponsor, and the sponsor was really helpful. She actually Skyped us and talked to us about what our needs are, our basic needs, because they're not miracle workers. They can't do everything for you. They offered you the job and you accepted, and now you're on your way to come over here. Hopefully you would have your plane tickets already taken care of and all that. What the sponsor does is they will make sure that the plane tickets are ready to go and that you're ready to go on the date that you're ready to get on that plane. And once you get on that plane, landing, you have to have somebody to meet you in the airport, because sometimes you're in a foreign country and you don't know where you are and you don't have any support group. I got lucky because my mom's here, but she had nothing to do with this. We did this all on our own because we got here on a Sunday. We got picked up by a shuttle service. It was already pre-planned. By the time we landed, we already knew, they knew our names, they knew who to look for, and it was a really quick process because if you're coming from the States, it's just a long plane ride. So you want to have a sponsor that's going to have this checklist for you. You can go through your checklist. Our sponsor was really polite and had everything taken care of. When we got into the apartment, there was already snacks available. There was just a nice little welcome package. It was kind of like a Easter basket in December, and it was filled with all kinds of goodies to make the transition a little bit more comfortable while we got situated. So second thing is to unlock your phone before you get to Germany. I can't stress that enough. I wish somebody would have told us that about 2 months before we came here, because doing that kind of paperwork, we procrastinated. We had other things going on, and we're thinking, well, we're with T-Mobile, and there is a international plan, so we could use that for a little while until we can figure out what's up. Luckily, T-Mobile didn't have a contract out. We had a family plan, and our phones were already paid for. That's another thing we found out when we got over here, is that even if you unlock your phones, you have to make sure that you don't have an outstanding balance in the States. That your phone, actually you can't really unlock your phone until you pay it off. If you bought your phone outright, that's totally different, I guess, but I can only speak from T-Mobile. And with T-Mobile, we had our phones unlocked probably 2 weeks before we got here. This way, we could switch out the SIM card without having to pay for a new phone. A lot of people make the mistake of taking their phone across the water and thinking that the cell service is the same. Totally not the same. Once you get here, you're going to have a lot of options. You have to do a little bit of research, but we would recommend you unlock your phone stateside, then bring it over here. You can still use the phone, use your carrier, talk to your cellular provider and ask them how long and what kind of plan they have for international, but you are going to want to have a German number eventually if you're here for more than 2 years. So unlock your phone. That's the number 2. Number 3, visit the social media group pages associated with your location. So wherever you're going to be living, I would find a Facebook group page, just type it in, like, for example, us, we're in Kaiserslautern, Germany. So what I did was I just went on Facebook, typed in Kaiserslautern, Germany, and tons of things popped up. There's some yard sales, just like you would see in the States. Yard sale like KMC, it's a Kaiserslautern military community. That is where you can purchase things online that maybe you would need, or there's a different kind of wattage here. Sometimes you're going to need a hairdryer, like my wife, and you can't plug in a hairdryer on the voltage and expect it to work. So you'll either need some kind of a transformer that you can get around here, or you're going to have to buy a whole new hairdryer. Luckily, on these websites, the yard sale websites here in Kaiserslautern and Ramstein, there are people that are selling household items like that, or hair dryers, for example. They're about to go back to the States and they have a German plug and they don't need it in the States, so they'll sell it at a pretty decent price and you can jump on that. You have to be a member though, so sign up for it, like their pages, follow their little instructions, but they come in handy. It's kind of like having a social media sponsor, because they can tell you the ins and outs and what to look for. Ask some really cool questions, ask some really good questions, get some really cool answers kind of deals. But that number 3 is visit the social media group pages associated with your location. Also, I check out the YouTubes. What me and Heather did was we typed in Kaiserslautern and living in Kaiserslautern, anything that had the word Kaiserslautern, K-Town, Ramstein, Landstuhl, and kind of like me, not military, but kind of in the same boat I am, that make YouTube pages, have YouTube channels. If you're going to be living in Munich, type in the search bar on YouTube, things to do in Munich, or American living in Munich, those kind of things. They will help you out a lot, believe me. Number 4 is check your surroundings before house hunting. This I have to emphasize. It's almost the same thing as going to the YouTube page and checking out your little town that you're going to be in. Check your surroundings, because even though you may not be homesick, maybe you're moving away from America just because you got tired of America. Maybe you got a good job offer that allows you to come over here to Germany, and you want to make sure that where you're living at is going to be close to where your office is or the place of your employment. You do not want to go too far out. You don't want to get too far in. In our situation, we had to check our surroundings. We had to make sure that we knew what was going to happen in the first 2 or 3 months, because we were not going to have a car. Our car would still be shipped over here. Our household goods would be shipped over here. If you have found a place to live, now sometimes the company you work for will get you over here, but they're not going to do the house hunting for you. You have to do that before you get here. And one thing that I can say from our experience is that we went to a couple of sites, kind of like the yard sale ones. If you get onto the social media pages, like the KMC pages that I was talking about, just my example, there are people out there in search of houses. Do your research before you land in Germany. And a couple of things I could do is I'll put it on the right here below. The ones that we used was Immobilien Scout 24. I hope I said that right. It was mostly Heather that did the search for us, but that is a really good place. You just put in a zip code of wherever you're about to land, and they'll do the rest for you. Also, Booku.com. That has a special section in it, so it's bookoo.com. If I'm wrong, I'll find it and copy and paste it below. But that is a really good resource for everything that you would want to know in your area. So, number 5 is paperwork. This is going to be quick. This is easy. You should have your passport lined up. If you can't find your passport, you never had a passport before, I would recommend going right now and taking care of that. You can go to your local post office and they can find you a post office location where you can go and fill out the passport application. They sometimes also provide the pictures, because you have to have a certified picture for your passport. If you can't, you can go to like one of those drugstores, like I don't know what you guys have anymore, CVS, the Eckarts, Walgreens. They all do passport photos, but you definitely need a professional one done that matches the dimensions for that passport, or it will be kicked back. So take care of that first. Get your passports in order, get your documentation in order. If you have pets like we do, you have to go get health certificates for your pets. There is no more like the 90s or the 80s or 90s where your pets were in quarantine for a couple of months if you were moving overseas. Now, your pets can come over, but you have to have documentation saying they're up to speed on their shots and their vaccinations, anything like that. Make sure you have that documentation. It can be a little expensive, but if you love your pets like we love ours, it's well worth it. So you want to get all your paperwork done. Germany is still lenient on certain things, but one thing that they're very, very strict on is their paperwork. If you don't have your paperwork in order, you won't be doing a lot of traveling like you think you wanted to do before you got on that plane saying, wow, we're going to Europe, we're going to travel. Not if you don't have your paperwork in order, and there's a lot of it. But not to scare you, just do your research before you get here. So, can we go through this one more time? The top 5 things? Let me look at my computer. 1, get you a sponsor. Get you somebody that you could be on a first name basis and get you a checklist on things that you may not have thought about. 2, unlock your phones before you come to Germany. Make sure they're unlocked, and if you still owe some money on that phone, maybe pay it off. 3, visit the social media group pages associated with the location where you will be living. Go find them. They're out there. I promise you, even our little town has a group page. I'm still waiting to be accepted. However, they do have one. So just look around, and it's a lot of fun, and then you get to feel like you're part of a community, a virtual community. So that's cool. And then number 4, check your surroundings before you go house hunting. Make sure that where you want to live has transportation. If you needed to rent a car, how far away is it to get to that place? Or can you use the bus system? Can you use the German transportation system to get to work? These little things, they all matter before you get here. Because if you're waiting on your car, what are you going to do? Just buy a car? Okay, that's cool. You could buy a car if you want to, but you have to do your research on that too. And I have no answers for that. And then number 5, paperwork. Get your paperwork in order. After that, go to my next video, which is not even made yet, and hopefully I'll have top 5 other things to do now that you've landed on the motherland. I hope that's been helpful. I hope I didn't say anything that was out of the ordinary. I hope that I touched base with things that you may have had questions about. And I also hope that you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell that makes you realize when I have new videos up. My viewing is low, my subscribers are getting higher, but I need to figure out how I can get more because I like doing these things and I'll continue to do them now that I'm on 39 subscribers. But I'd really like to get more, not because I'm a narcissist, but because I really like doing this and it makes me motivated to get out there and find things to talk about. And I like reading your comments, the little ones I have. And shout out to everybody just keeping up with the channel and listening to me talk. And sometimes I ramble on. So thanks for tuning in. And until next time, tschüss!